I made a mistake of calling my mom a homewrecker all my life. And now, she fulfilled it. My parents have now just finalized their divorce and I 23F am losing it. For a bit of background, my parents are Asian and had an arranged marriage when my mom was only 18. She had me when she was 19. After the wedding, turns out my mother had an affair with her high school sweetheart and then blamed it on my father and me and her family for ruining her life as she claimed it was more of a forced marriage. She then fell pregnant and had hoped it was her affair partner's child, but no, I am my father's. She then did a 180 and became a devoted wife and mother. But my dad wasn't having any of it. He made it clear to her that they will from then only be married on paper. And that too, only for the sake of the child. Since then, my mother, as far as we know, never had any contact with her affair partner. But my dad was now seeing other people. I was told about my mother's betrayal when I was 13, and I hated my mother ever since. I made it a point to let her know I was ashamed of her and hoped my father found love elsewhere, as she was a woman of no dignity. I refused to be disciplined by her, and eventually my brother kind of started following my footsteps. After my little brother was born, my father got a vasectomy to assure us that there will be no half-sibling, but he wants casual relationships. Me and my brother have met up with multiple of his partners if they manage to reach a certain time length, but none so far have been long-term serious ones. My mother was quiet in all of this. It only made me angrier. This year, after my brother turned 18 and was ready to go to university, my mother announced she will be filing for a divorce. We live in England and have a no-contest divorce, so she doesn't need any grounds for it. She can simply file, and the only process that requires footwork is asset mediation. We were all blindsided by this, as for 23 years she had never shown an ounce of extreme emotions. During divorce mediation, my dad was quite distraught and my brother was anxious, and I was just confused how it's all happening overnight. During a mediation meeting, I lost it and called her the B word. Homewrecker who ruined this family is once again ripping it apart. She was calm and just said, even people charged with manslaughter have served less than her, and she's now done. She said she doesn't feel any ounce of guilt or love for any of us and simply doesn't care to be in our lives anymore. She left with only her premarital assets and nothing more. The house now suddenly feels empty, even though we ignore her all those years. I don't know what I am feeling and how to process this.
Here are the top comments.
Distraught, confused, happening overnight. You all are bat crazy.
Your mom left you all for a good reason. She was forced to marry your father. You all treated her horribly for years, while your father did much worse to her. While I disagree with cheating at 18 in a forced marriage, cause let's face it, she didn't want to be married. She coped the best she could. All of her children were cruel to her. Her spouse had her children meeting multiple APs, all for a mistake she made when she was arguably a child herself. I hope your mother goes and is happy. Also, that she never speaks to any of you again. She's only 42. She should build herself a life she wants.